No nonsense gin drinking. All gin, no nonsense.
Hello gin lovers, welcome back. I'm Bobby Freeman and today, my friends, we have the return of the Argentinian gins, because many of my regular viewers will know that my good friend Dr. Sith Gin, who has his own YouTube channel based in Argentina, also talking about gin, has sent me a load, well he didn't send me, he actually brought me some gins from Argentina. And we had a bit of a break because I think we overloaded on the Argentinian gins for a bit, but however, I am gagging to get back on it because they were absolutely amazing. So today, my friend, our latest Argentine offering is Cat Sith Gin, and it is a rather cute, tiny looking little bottle, doesn't it? It's not as small as it looks. It's just one of these 500ml ones, but it's just slightly, sometimes we get the slightly smaller bottles. I don't know why really, but well, we just do. But as we know, good things often come in small packages. And if you want to know what a Cat Sith is, then, well, I shall tell you later on in the video. But for now, let's find out a little bit more about it on the website, shall we? We wanted to make a gin that went a little further than the traditional London Dry. A gin that requires a little attention when smelling and drinking it. Well, I like to think I always pay attention when smelling and drinking my gin. Here, botanicals combine with the fine spirit of the Cat Sith to produce an exotic, spicy gin. So I will tell you what the Cat Sith is now. Apparently, it is a Scottish mythical creature, right? It's some sort of, well, a mythical cat that haunts the Highlands. Doesn't sound particularly scary, does it? Because if you saw a cat running towards you across the Highlands, you just think, oh, it's a cat. They could have at least given it kind of, I don't know, giant claws, or it breathed fire, or it was like 10 feet tall or something. I don't know, but maybe I'm just putting ideas out there. Anyway, the botanicals are thus. We've got juniper, we've got coriander, we've got licorice, we've got orris, we've got angelica, we've got cinnamon and cardamom. Now that's about as far as it goes with the kind of what you call the usual suspects for the botanicals. Then it goes a little bit off. So we've got ginger, not very often in gins. Even the talk of ginger made me cough. Nutmeg, which we do sometimes have. Then we've got quibeba. Quibeba, is that the same as quibeb? Probably. Then we've got mace, and we've got cummel. Jimmy Cummel? I don't know what cummel is. Black pepper, I do know what that is. And allspice and hazelnuts. Now I think we can safely say that is a rather sort of eclectic mix of botanicals, particularly the hazelnuts. I'm particularly intrigued by that because I don't think we've ever had hazelnuts in the gin on this show or indeed off the show. With an intense aroma and a spicy perfume where the peppers, cinnamon and cardamom and other botanicals that make up this excellent product stand out, offering an imposing personality, a bit like me. The flavour of the botanicals lingers for several seconds, so I'm looking forward to this. I do like a lingering flavour. I like to linger just from in day-to-day, just average life. I enjoy a bit of lingering. I don't mind telling you, I am a lingerer. This gin has a smooth and complex taste that is sure to delight the senses. Wow, that sounds bloody good to me, and the phone cover has gone over. We know what that means. It's time to crack on and get the bugger open. So then, by the way, I must just warn you, I'm filming this in a brief hiatus in the weather here in the UK. We've had terrible thunderstorms this morning. We've got like about 3 hours now and they've stopped raining because, as you know, it clatters down on the tin roof here and makes me unable to film my videos. However, bad news was I forgot. I usually put a cover on this desk because, as my regular viewers know, I have got a terribly compromised leaky roof, and this desk was covered in water when I came in. In fact, I left a hammer on here as well. I don't know if you can see there. It's kind of left a kind of a rusty mark on there, and even on this bit here, look, it's actually starting to raise up and crack where the water's gone and it's swelled. So it's all bad news for the studio today. But anyway, I digress. Let's get this fellow open, shall we? Now, it looks fairly sealed into me. Is it going to be a case where I'm going to have to cut away? Oh no, it's going quite well, I think. I think I managed to get this bit off. I usually pad, there we go, it's straight off. And we are rewarded. No, we're not. It hasn't got a cork, so we can't do a cork test. Sorry to build you up like that. So we'll take the fellow off, shall we? Take the lid off and have a nice old sniff of him. Now, I think this is probably going to be, I'm really looking forward to this. It's such a weird mix of botanicals. I think it's going to be so unlike anything I've ever sniffed before. So let's have a little, well, a sniff. Hang on, here we go. Right, that's kind of, it wasn't kind of as packed of flavours, aromas as I thought it was going to be. However, it's a very sort of light and a little bit more subtle than I thought it might be. It's like, oh yeah, you can definitely get the spiciness, but it's not overwhelming. It's kind of a light, delicate spiciness, just sort of gracing the sort of internal folds of your nasal passages. I made myself laugh there. I don't need an audience, do I? It's kind of, yeah, light spiciness. I was hoping to get some sort of nuttiness in there as well. I can't really smell the nuttiness. Do nuts emit much of a smell? Not really. Maybe those almondy things. I don't like almonds. My mum tries to slip them into cake sometimes when she makes them. I keep telling her I don't like it and it annoys me. But there's nothing here anyway, so that's irrelevant. However, nonetheless, a very, very pleasant smell. There's something a bit woody. There's a little bit of a woody nuttiness in there, so you wouldn't want to be overcome with nuttiness, just you know, ever in day-to-day life. What a way to go. Bobby Freeman, age 41, found dead, overcome by nuttiness. Anyway, let's stop fanning about, my friends. Let's get a little tonic in there, shall we? By the way, this is a little bit weaker than we usually expect. It's around 40% ABV, so I don't want to drown this too much. I reckon that's probably about right. So here we go, my friend. As always, I'd like to say, well, first of all, thank you to Dr. Sith Gin, who brought this gin over from Argentina. And of course, thank you to all my patrons. In fact, he is actually one of them. So I'm thanking you all together, Dr. Sith Gin and the patrons, but he got his own special mention because he bought the gin. And of course, thank you to my YouTube members. All of you guys are literally paying for this gin on the show. Not this one, because Dr. Sith Gin brought it over, but all the rest of you are paying and helping this show to stay alive. And one day I'm hoping I might get enough patrons to actually fix the leaky roof, but that's you know, that's the big dream for the future. But for now, I say to every last one of you, patrons, viewers, members, everybody, here we go. This is Cat Sith Gin. I say cheers. Oh, wow, okay. Well, this is exactly... Okay, there's definitely some lingering going on here. As promised, the lingering has delivered. Has delivered? Have been delivered. Has been delivered. The lingering has been delivered. I've received delivered... Oh, God. I've received delivery of a lingerance, if you will. However, let me try and put that in language that people can understand. So, just as I thought, let me have a confirmation for that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a spicy gin, my friends. It doesn't... I know it sounds stupid, but sometimes a bottle sort of belies what is within, and you could sort of guess it's a spicy gin. I wouldn't have guessed from that sort of rather sort of plainish exterior, but it kind of, as soon as it crosses the threshold of the mouth and sort of gets on the tongue, it's like it kind of sets the tongue alight, and each taste bud is kind of a little firecracker, like pop, 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 pop. It pops and crackles as it goes in there. And it kind of feels like it sort of travels across the tongue, pop, 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 and then time just goes and sort of not dissipates, but but not kind of explodes. What's the sort of halfway between dissipating and exploding? Kind of a crackling, I suppose. Crackling and sort of evaporating. That's a good word for it. It evaporates in a kind of sort of cloudy, misty, sort of spicy, joyful thing. I think I ran out of words at the end there, but I think that kind of gets across. It's all about the spice with this one, okay? It's just a real lively kind of gin. Is there much... in the way of juniper? I'd say it's a bit lighter on the juniper side. They've gone 100% for the spice. Let me have another go. Oh, yeah, and there's plenty of pepper in there as well. Now, I'm not usually a fan... Well, no, that's not true. I'm not usually a fan of really heavy pepper. However, it kind of works. It's putting me in mind a little bit... Where the hell's it gone? Where's the drum shampoo? There it is, the drum shampoo. It puts me in mind a lot of that, actually. That was a spicy fire. I think I described that one as fireworks going off in the mouth. And it's very, very similar. And let's face it, that's one of the most popular gins in the world, so that can never be a bad thing. In terms of nuttiness, it's very, very light, to be honest. Very, very light. Hazelnuts, I'm not really... Let me see if I can just pick them out. Not really, to be honest. I'm not getting any kind of nuttiest. Not even the nutmeg, to be honest. Nutmeg, that's not even... Is that even a nut? I don't know. What's the meg? What makes a nut? Meg, the megginess. My God, I have literally no idea what I'm talking about. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know there doesn't seem to be any nutmeg in there, or indeed any nuttiness of any kind to mention. So then, let's try it neat, shall we? Now, I think this is going to be an absolute blow your head off kind of neat gin. So let's whack it in the old no-nonsense gin drinking mug, which, don't forget, Christmas is just round the corner, and who wouldn't want a low-quality mug with no-nonsense gin drinking on the front? Not on the back. I couldn't. I didn't have the option to do that, or I couldn't be bothered to pay the price for it. Either way, it's not on the back. But anyway, let's try this neat, shall we? not quite as firecracky as I imagined, actually. I feel the flavours are a little bit sort of dulled down. You definitely get a sense of it being a bit less of the ABV. I'm just going to go out straight away and put my balls on the line here and say that is 100% made for a gin and tonic. However, my friends, there's the thorny issue of the price here, but however, it's not very thorny when it comes to Argentine gins, because I always don't know, Argentine or Argentinian. I'm going for Argentine. I'll probably offend someone, but to be honest, I feel a bit disappointed, and I don't think I've done a proper job if I haven't offended someone at some point in my videos. But I think this one's fairly low risk, so I'm going to go for Argentine. So with the Argentine gins, what was I saying? Oh yes, the Argentine gins are extra, compared to the gin prices here in the UK and in Europe, my goodness gracious, they are cheap. So this one, I'll give it you in Argentine pesos. It's 3,500 pesos, okay, but it works out, which sounds to me, £3,500 is obviously a hell of a lot, but that works out at about £18, about $20 or 20 euros, something like that, which is, by anyone's standard, very, very, that's about as cheap as you get for gin. That's a similar price to Beefeater over here, although to be fair, we have to take into account it is a slightly smaller bottle, but still, that is a cheap gin, I would say, and you're certainly not. It definitely tastes like not a cheap gin. So guys, to sum up today, a fascinating little gin. I really like, you know, the whole that's that one. I love the whole Cat Smith thing. I don't really know. I wonder how that sort of Scottish legend made it onto a Argentinian gin. I do not know. We'll probably never know unless they get in contact with me and tell me, which I very much doubt. However, what I'm trying to say is it is a great little gin, and I really enjoyed trying it today. It surprised me. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest, especially from that weird mix of botanicals. But I tell you what a brave mix of botanicals. I think they could have been even braver and kind of up the sort of a nutty side to it. I think that might have sort of, offset slightly or complemented the peppery and spiciness. I think that might have been quite interesting. But even without that, that is a brilliant sort of sizzler of a gin, and it's kind of warming as well as we enter sort of the winter times here in the UK. I can imagine myself sort of sitting down in front of the fire, if indeed I have a fire. But you never know, a small fire might break out in my living room, and if it did, I would sit in front of it and have a nice warming, spicy drink of the old Cat Smith. So if you see this one, if you live in Argentina or you live in somewhere where you know this is available, and you'd like, and if you've tried particularly if you've tried the gunpowder gin before, that one is going to be, and I think it's going to be a lot cheaper as well. That is definitely a brilliant, slightly cheaper alternative, and I highly recommend it. And I say to my friends at the Cat Sith distillery, if indeed that's what it's called, keep up the good work. So guys, thank you for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, as indeed, if you have, if you have enjoyed it, don't forget to, as always, I should have said, express your like by liking the video, and indeed, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and if you want to support the channel, indeed, you can head over, like Dr. Sir Gin does, you can head over to the Patreon page, or indeed click the join button below this video. And once again, thank you very much to Dr. Sir Gin for providing the gin today, and don't forget to go and check out his channel. It's absolutely amazing. It's all in Argentine or Spanish, whatever you want to call it, and if you want, I shall put a link to it in the section below. But until next time, guys, you all know the drill. Take care, stay safe. Thank you to all my patrons and my members, and to Dr. Sir Gin today, and of course, keep drinking the gin.